And this direct variation question reads, if y varies directly as x and y is equal to 9 when x is equal to 3, find the value of y when x is equal to 4. So this is a direct variation question because it says varies directly, meaning y varies directly as x. So the word directly has qualified this question to be a direct variation. So then let's put down the data. It becomes y varies directly as x. So for varies directly, it becomes a straightforward variation. But we have to change this proportional sign or variation sign into an equal sign with a constant. So it will be y is equal to k and then times x. Where this k is a constant, it came as a result of converting this into an equal sign. So this constant must be found. So where k is a constant. Now, we have to get the value of k, and then in the variation question, normal variation, the first two values for the variables are intended to be used to find k. So you have to take note of that. So I have y as 9 and then x as 3. So I'll substitute these two into the equation or the relation connecting y and x so that I'll get k. So y is equal to kx. We have 9 here for y. So y is 9. K is still k because we are looking for the k. Then x we get as 3, they multiply. So going further, we will get 9 is equal to 3k. Then we divide both sides by 3, since 1k to be alone. So divide here by 3, divide here by 3. So that 3 will cancel itself 1 and cancel this 3 1. 3 here 1, 3 here 3. So we get 3 is equal to k. Therefore, k is equal to 3. So then the value of the constant in this question is 3. Now that we have gotten the constant, using the k, now let's find the actual question. It says, find the value of y when x is 4. That is a original question, or let's say that is a real question we are supposed to solve for. Now we have getting the value of y, which we don't know, and then the value of x is rather 4. Now that k has been given us 3, we can still use this relation. We still use the relation y is equal to kx. We don't know y, so y is equal to k times 4, which is 3 times 4. 3 for k, 3 for k, and then 4 for x. So then y will be equal to 3 times 4 is 12. So therefore, y is equal to 12 when x is equal to 4. That is the meaning. So this has solved the question that was given in this direct variation example. Thank you very much. This question reads, if the volume V of a cube varies directly as the cube side x and V is equal to 108 when x is equal to 3, find A, V in terms of x, B, the volume of the cube when x is 6, C, the length of the side x when V is equal to 4000. Now this question says the volume V of a cube varies directly. Since we have varies directly, this becomes a direct variation. Then we have volume, which is V of the cube varies directly as the cube of its side x. So x cube. This time we talked about x cube. And because we don't use this proportional variation sign, we have to change it to equal sign the constant. So it becomes V is equal to kx cubed, where the equal to and the k representing the variation sign, or the equal to and the k are now representing the variation sign. So where k is a constant. I've introduced a constant in our solution, so we have to find the value of the constant. So the question must provide two values for v and the value for x. So the two values are v is equal to 108 and then x is equal to 3. Now because of these two values, we can just do substitution to get the value of k, which is a constant. So v, which is 108 from here, is equal to k is already there. X is 3 cubed. So we get 108 is equal to k times 27. 3 cubed is 27. So 108 is equal to 27k. Then we divide both sides by 27. So 108 is equal to 27k. Divide here by 27. Divide here by 27. So 27 will cancel itself 1 and cancel 27 1. 27 here 1 and it's 108 4. So we have 4 is equal to k. So therefore the value of k is 4. So the constant is 4. Now let's go to the A. A says we should find v in terms of x. But the v in terms of x is originally this formula, which is v is equal to kx cubed. We know the value of k, so we just have to substitute to make it only v and k as the question demanded. So, but k is 4, so it will become v is equal to 4x cubed. So this is the actual formula, or the actual relation, or the actual connection between v and x cubed. That is v is equal to x cubed. Even though there is a constant, but that is a real number, so it is not important. We just say that this is made up of two variables, which are v and x. Now let's continue to b. b says that the volume of the cube when x is 6. So we have x as 6. We want to find v, which we don't know. With this same formula, v is equal to 4x cubed. v we don't know, but we know that x is equal to 6, so it will become 6 cubed. v is equal to 4 times 216. And then we have 4 times 216 will give us 864. So we get, therefore, v is equal to 864 when the value of x is 6. That is what it means. Now let's go to the c. c says the length of x when v is equal to 4,000. We want to find v as 4,000. Then we don't know x, so we are finding x. And we have been given v as 4,000. So it's still the relation, or the formula, which is v is equal to 4x cubed. We have v as 4,000. And we have 4x cubed, so x cubed. Now we have to make x the subject. So first of all, we divide both sides by 4. So it becomes 4,000 is equal to 4x cubed. Since 4 is multiplying the x cubed, divide there by 4. Then we divide here 2 by 4 to make sure 4 cancel 4. We are dividing on both sides, or at both sides, because of the equal sign. So here we get 1,000 because 4 goes into some 1, goes into 4,000, 1,000. So we get 1,000 is equal to x cubed. Yeah, so if 1,000 is equal to x cubed, we want to remove the cube. So we find the cube root of 1,000 and then the cube root of x cubed. We use the cube root to cancel the cube so that x can be free. And the cube root of 1,000 is 10. And then it is equal to x. So therefore the value of x will be 10. So in this question, the value of x will be 10 when v is 4,000. So you have to take note of this. So this answers the question for this direct variation. Thank you very much. And this question reads, r varies directly as the cube root of v. When r is equal to 5, v is equal to 125. Find the value of r when v is equal to 8. So if you read this question well, it says r varies directly as the cube root of v. So the varies directly alone gives us a clue that this variation is a direct variation. So writing it, it becomes a variable r with the variation of the proportional sign. So varies directly as the cube root. So we will bring the cube root, and then the v will be under the cube root. So this is the meaning. Don't forget the cube root. It talked about cube root of v. So you just say cube root with the v under it. That's the meaning. Now, we don't use this proportional sign or variation sign. So you have to convert it into an equal sign with a constant. That then everybody must know. So it becomes r is equal to k. Then the cube root of the v will come. So don't forget, equal to k is represented in place of the variation sign. So I'm trying to say that variation has been changed into equal to the constant, where k is a constant. Where k is a constant. So let's go. Now that we have this relation, this is what we refer to as the relation between r and v, or the equation connected r to v. That is to say, equation connecting r to v, or a formula for r in terms of v, like anything, the relationship between r and v. Anything that is like formula for the two variables in the variation. This is what we use for every single calculations we'll go through. In order to get the value of k, in the question you'll be given two different values for the variable r and v. So here we're given r as 5 and v as 125. Please take note that these two values, just after the variation statement becomes the two values, that will find your constant, so that we can proceed with the question. Because if you don't find the value of your constant that you brought in the solution, you can't proceed. The constant, mind you, is not in the question. You brought it into the solution by virtue of converting a proportional sign into an equal sign and constant. So if you don't find a constant, you can't proceed. So let's get a constant. We have r as 5 and then v as 125. So with that, we get r is equal to k cube root of v. Now it will be cube root of v. So k times cube root of v. But we have r as 5. So the r is 5. It's equal to k is there, then the cube root of v. V is 125. So we go 5 will be equal to k times the cube root of 125 is 5. So do that with your calculator. Cube root of 125 is 5. It means 5 raised to the power 3 will give you 125. That's the meaning. So 5 is equal to 5k. Now you divide both sides by 5 to make k the subject. So here by 5, here by 5. 5 into this of 1, 5 into this 1. Here 1, here 1. So we get 1 is equal to k. So it means therefore the value of the constant is 1. K is 1. So if k is 1, we have to proceed and find the question. It says, find the value of r when v is equal to 8. V is equal to 8. We don't know r. So r we use question mark because we don't, and k is 1. So let's get a formula. The formula is r is equal to k cube root of v. So the cube root of v. Now r we don't know, so that's what we're looking for. K is 1. And then we have the cube root of v, which is 8. So r is equal to 1 into bracket 2. The reason why we got 2 here is the cube root of 8 is 2. That means that 8 can be the same as 2 power 3. That's the meaning. So or 8, the value 8 can be converted into 2 power 3. Or 2 power 3 will give 8. That is why the cube root of 8 is 2. So r will be 1 times 2, which is 2. So the constant r is 2. So the constant r is 2. So the r is, the r we are talking about is a capital letter R. So the constant r is 2. So from the question that we are asked here in the variation, our answer is 2. Thank you very much.